Hello, everyone. How are we all today?
Yeah.
We're all right.
Yeah, fine.
Hello, I'm great. Out of breath, but great.
Did you run back, Bianca?
It was a quick walk. A quick walk. It's never good to do too much running on a Friday.
Oh, well,
That's dedication, though, isn't it?
yeah.
I like to think so, absolutely.
Well, we are going to sort of take it really chill today. So we've covered some heavy subjects throughout the week, mainly to do with sort of mental health, going back to school, sort of different strategies you could use to sort of help you through that process. So today we are joined by Bianca and Georgia again, who are from Community Courtyard. I'm going to go through the services that we provide at Free to Talk. Bianca and Georgia are going to go through the services that they provide at Community Courtyard, and then we're just going to be answering some icebreaker questions, really. So, Georgia, Bianca, go for it.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Community Courtyard has historically, we've been a detached youth work project, and what that means is you will find us on the streets. But about a year ago, coinciding with COVID, we were working with some young people and they wanted to have a building. So we applied to the lottery, we got £220,000. Ta-da! We're in the town centre. So we're down Gold Street, we're opposite the bridge. We were a barber's, we're not anymore. So if you want a haircut, we are not the place for you. But we are next to the restaurant Sorrentino's. So we're hoping to make a deal with them because I like a good Italian. I like a good spaghetti bolognese on a Friday night. So I'm hoping they want to do some good deals. But one of the things that them being in a building means is we can offer a wide range of stuff. So some of the things that we offer on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we've got an open youth group. So that means between 6:30 and 8:30, you can come down, you can do some gaming, you can do board games, you can chat, you can have tea and coffee for free. You want to make some food because you're starving, and I don't know, maybe your parents were like my parents and they never made you the food you wanted. So you want your own popcorn and sweets, come and do that with us. Then in the evening, we'll be going out on detached. But we've also got things like a forest hub. So I know that Free to Talk do forest school, but we've got it actually in the building. So we've got some trees and plants and we can do stuff there. We love a bit of guerrilla gardening. I can tell that you all like dressing up as gorillas and doing a bit of gardening. I can see that Richard really likes the daffodils. I think I might be more of a gladioli person myself, but you never know. So that's about how we can make Northampton look pretty awesome. We do things like human libraries, where we get people to be booked and share their story. We do that all around Northampton. But we also do drama groups, music groups, chit and chatter. But I guess most importantly, if you're a young person in Northampton and you want something to do, but you don't know where to go, come and find us. If we don't do it, we will do it. Yeah, so that I guess is quite exciting. I'd like to be at home before 2 o'clock in the morning. So when you're thinking of your ideas, yeah, don't think too big because I'm quite old now, so I do need a bit more sleep than I did when I was younger. So I think 2 o'clock in the morning is my cut-off time. But we do a wide range of stuff. We don't do the music, which is what Free to Talk do. I know that you've got Connor doing some great music stuff, which is fantastic. But we do have a record label. So we have Chilled World Records, and that's because back in the day, my dad was a record producer. And you're thinking, yeah, Bianca, he's not going to have made any records that we know. But I think he might. So from songs like In the Jungle, the Mighty Jungle, the Lion Sleeps Tonight, my dad made that. Along with
Hold up. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also mastered all of Death Row's records. So Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all of that kind of stuff. So we do know a bit about music here at Community Courtyard in a different way. So we've got our record label. So maybe you're making tracks with Connor and you need a label to do something with. We're your, I say guys, but clearly we don't have many guys working for us actually at Community Courtyard. We're mostly girlies at the moment. So we're your girls. And so, yeah, we do some music stuff, not a lot. but we're very young person led. So we kind of change week from week. It's really important that people just check us out on all the different social media platforms, or hopefully, and we're only talking a few weeks, aren't we, when you'll be able to walk past Gold Street, knock on the door, see that it's open, and just come in anyway. So that's the idea. That is my waffle, and when I think of other stuff that we do, I'm going to just pretend that I mentioned it earlier.
I feel like this is something that you should bring out. What's the age range for Community Courtyard?
That's a really good thing. So we work with 11 to 25. So
great.
Yeah, so youth work is around 14 to 25. That's what the National Youth Association says. But we know that when we're working with young people, we've got brothers and sisters. And so we start at 11.
Oh, great.
Although, if you've seen our chit and chatter on a Monday night, we've actually doing a new chit and chatter room. We've got a 7, an 8 and a 10-year-old who are sharing their kind of life adventures with us online. So that's quite exciting. But the majority.
And tonight we've got some teens as well, don't we?
So
tonight we've got some kids. Going to be chatting. Going to be shooting the stuff.
George is thinking that she's gangster tonight. She's trying to.
You don't know me, Bianca. I've got a whole other side.
But generally, we work with 14 to 16. I guess is the main age range. And that's like typical across the country for youth work. And I, at Community Courtyard, I set it up. So I founded it, and I'm a JNC qualified youth worker. And I think that education is really important. So I've done a master's, and I've also done a PhD. So,
oh wow!
Because I think that young people deserve to have people who more than like them. Yeah. So it's a bit like a dentist. When your teeth hurt, you don't go to someone who likes teeth. You go to a dentist. And I think young people deserve to hang out with people who more than like them. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? If you just like kids and you just want to hang out with them, that's a different type of problem we've got. But good question, Richard.
Wow.
Yeah. I messed up and I completely forgot to say, do you all want to introduce yourselves?
Oh.
Yeah. It's been a long day.
Shall
Yeah, go on then.
Yes, so hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm currently a university student and I'm working with Free to Talk as part of my placement. Richard,
I'm Richard. I'm going to Northampton College. Been doing computer and software over there. Been with Free to Talk now as a young person for 8 years, I think.
Oh wow, great.
Most of my teen life. And yeah,
They've captured you forever.
Yeah, they have.
Don't grow up, Richard. It's a scam. It's a scam.
Yeah, my name is Ayo, and I'm a student with University of Northampton, studying for my master's in youth and community leadership, and I'm currently doing my work placement with Free to Talk as well.
Perfect.
Hi,
Welcome.
I'm Georgia, and I am a conversation starter with Community Courtyard. So, hi.
And in case you didn't notice, my name is Bianca, and I am the founder of Community Courtyard, and I am a youth and community qualified worker. Live in the street. Whoop, whoop.
And I'm Parker. I'm a youth and community support worker with Free to Talk, currently covering for James, who has abandoned us to go on annual leave.
It was his birthday. It was his birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah, birthday yesterday.
Birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, James! If you're watching,
Happy birthday!
Happy
birthday, James!
I need like a streamer.
Hope your head isn't hurting too much today, James. For the partying.
Right. Okay. I should probably go on to say what Free to Talk offers. So we offer sort of like a range of different youth groups. We do detached. We have specialist support workers in different areas. So the open access youth groups we do in Blackthorn, Billinge, Samilong, Kings Heath, and Thorpelands. And you'll have to excuse me because I am reading this off the screen because I still don't know Northampton very well. So the times on them are currently being sort of rearranged a bit because obviously current circumstances with COVID hasn't been very nice. We run sort of different detached youth work sessions at Victoria Park. We do mentoring services, forest school sessions, which I've got involved in when we first started doing them, and they're actually really good. They just make you smell of smoke. We do Get Real Music art awards. We do broadcasting sessions, online gaming, and free to talk TV. So this week, because James leads all the more of the online stuff, so he would do online gaming, but and me and Charlotte would just sort of be in the chat asking all these weird and wonderful questions. But where he's on annual leave and neither me or Charlotte are very big gamers, we've decided to do a few more free to talk sessions this week as well, so you can check them out.
I guess I just want to say that we do, got to mention that we do the gaming as well. So every lunchtime between 12 and 1, you can follow Steve the Outlaw. I don't know whether he is a real outlaw, but according to the profile on Twitch, he is an outlaw and he is always gaming. And I think because one of our workers, Luke, he's been off work with COVID and he's coming back. But to start him off really easily, I mean, this is a tough job, isn't it? He's just going to do some gaming. Yeah. Yeah, going to ease himself into it. It's going to be a real struggle for him. The struggle will be real.
Well, we hope Luke gets well soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
We provide a youth safe space in town centre, which would normally be a McDonald's, but currently where they're not allowing people in the restaurants at the moment, that's kind of still what we're figuring out. We have specialist youth workers in music, radio broadcasting, visual arts, mental health and well-being, and online gaming. And obviously throughout lockdown, obviously everybody sort of struggled. So we've been supporting local food banks, and we've been completing community welfare and community checks, just to sort of make sure everybody's okay and doing okay and whether they need any support. So we sort of cover sort of the main Northampton area, so sort of central Northampton. So you're most likely going to see one of the youth workers around somewhere, mainly in the evening, sort of like after school time. So if you ever do see us, come and say hello.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess
it's a lot.
Isn't it? They're either going to say hello, they're going to run really fast. They're going to be, oh no, not those youth workers, they're out again.
We're gonna overtake Northampton with youth workers.
Yeah, small in the area.
A youth worker on every corner.
Yeah.
It's really interesting you say that though, because we're actually going to have a generation of young people who won't actually know what youth workers are. Do you know what I mean? Because of the cuts to youth services nationally. So this was a budget this week, but failed to do anything for young people. There was nothing at all for youth work, and there was nothing at all in that budget for young people. So as much as we would like to have a youth worker on every street, we know that Spring Family Centre, which is one of the ones, so in the area that we all work, you've got myself, you've got Community Courtyard, you've got Free to Talk, and you've got Spring Centre. But we know that they're already struggling for funding. So the struggle for voluntary sector organisations now is really significant because in Northampton they cut the youth service. It doesn't exist. Yeah. I mean, and we're not the first we're not the first place in the country for that to happen, and we won't be the last. But the pressures for all organisations like Free to Talk, Community Courtyard, and the others is really high now. How do we compete for funding when the need of communities is so big?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
But
that's
I mean,
up on a Friday, isn't it? You're glad I came for the end of week conversation.
I mean, youth work, you know, in a way we've sort of had to learn how to adapt to that. but there is going to get to a point where we just can't.
Yeah.
You know, the pandemic has sort of tested all organizations, all areas of work, not just youth work, but retail, a lot of family owned organizations as well. And I think it's taught us a lot of valuable skills that we can take forward. But like I said, there's just going to get to a point where we can no longer do that because we don't have the resources to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about are not to do with the pandemic. This is about 10 years of a government who's cut services, between 10,000 youth centres closed.
Yeah, and I think
COVID.
yeah, and I think there's going to be a bit of pressure on youth services even after the pandemic, because obviously the pandemic has been awful to a lot of people, especially young people who have been locked in for up to a year now. So I think there's going to be a bit of pressure after the pandemic, and the services will be needed, and the funding will be very necessary. So that's what I'm even thinking about. Where's the money going to come from? How is the youth service going to cope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it this way, if anything, the pandemic has shown us how valuable youth workers and community workers are, because we're the people who are listening to the community and trying to help the community and trying to provide those safe spaces. And if you think about a lot of people who may potentially not have very good home lives, you know, it's going to be doubly difficult for them at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I suppose one of the things that I'm concerned about after the pandemic, because at the moment you can't be evicted. Yeah, so it's illegal.
Oh yeah.
But we do know that will change soon. So
It will.
people who have been furloughed have only had 80% of their wages. So mums and dads have had 80% of their wages. Well, that doesn't pay 100% of the bills. I mean, so we're going to have an absolutely extortionate rate of people who are going to be at risk of losing their homes, and that puts lots of pressure on everybody. And when people are under pressure, there's lots of cracks that start to appear in family units, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
children might go a bit more hungry. Their food portions might change. When you're hungry, can you learn or be happy?
Mm-hmm. No.
Not easily. Kind of gives you the ump if you're feeling hungry in your tummy, but you've got that rumbly feeling.
Yeah.
Bad enough when you're hungry and you go in the cupboard, you really fancy seeing that packet of Monster Munch, but instead all you got is Wotsits. Yeah, that's bad enough when those kind of everyday problems happen. But when there's no crisps at all, and do you mean you're seeing those kind of things happen, it's difficult when you know that there's nothing you can do as a young person to change that financial position of your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we have some tough times, but luckily there will be youth and community workers where you can go and speak and you can get support and you can have some time out just to be a young person, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because having fun is really important, and especially on a weekend. It's a Friday. We need more fun talk now. I'm going to
Yeah.
phone.
So I think, Parker, you were saying that you believe that it might be potentially next week or the week after that you're going to start doing stuff at Food Talk.
Yeah, so we're still sort of like organising everything and nothing is yet set in stone. But within the next couple of weeks, we are going to look at opening up our services a bit more. So we've been doing sessions anyway during the pandemic, but they've been outside. It's been very cold, you know, and I hate the phrase, but we open up our services for vulnerable young people, because that's a phrase that, you know, it gets chucked around quite a lot, and it's mainly just those that need that little bit extra support that we're supporting at the moment. So we're not reaching what we used to pre-pandemic. So but hopefully you should see us around a lot more, and if you do, come and say hello.
That's part of what happened with the pandemic. What the pandemic did is the National Youth Agency, they negotiated with the government through what we were allowed to do. And it was agreed that youth work was really important, but it was also agreed that it was really important for the majority of people to stay at home, to save lives and to save the NHS. But we recognise that for some young people who were living in poverty, for some young people who are at risk of violence, for some young people who are at risk of being involved in behaviours that were not helpful for their lives, or for young people who lived in households which had dangerous activities going on in it, but we need to provide those support services. The challenges that have been for all of us, which is the buildings that we may have traditionally used have been closed. So even if, for example, Parkway wanted to do it in Blackthorn, maybe the community centre there has been closed because the rules have been different for adults. And community centres are generally adult starting places, aren't they? But what we do know is that come April, we can start moving forward, and we know that by June the 21st, the green light will be there. But I think what I want to just remind people is this is only if this roadmap goes smoothly. So it's really important, and we're all feeling really optimistic. Yeah, if your nan and granddad or your mum and dad have the vaccine, remind them not to go out hanging out with their mates on the streets. Yeah, because you know what those oldies are like. They get their first vaccine and then they're socialising with everybody. Yeah, if you've got your vaccine, you're not safe until you've had your second vaccine.
Yeah.
And even when we all meet up, we're still going to be having a cow in between each of us. Not a chicken, but a whole cow. That's how far you want to keep away from the person in front of you and to the sides. And if we do those things, we're more likely to be back to normal come the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing you might want to just get braced for is COVID's a winter dangerous illness, yeah? Because it's a flu type illness. So we know that come the winter, there's a chance that there will be more restrictions. We hope there won't be, but we should always be planning that there might be.
Yeah, it's just a point to just plan ahead, isn't it, and be prepared for things that they might not go as smoothly as you want them to.
Yeah. Absolutely. We can all make this happen. We can all make it, but we're going to see each other in the real world. Yeah. When you're all walking down the street as free to talk people, you can be coming into the yard, sneaking in for that quick cuppa, back out. We do better burgers than McDonald's. Won't tell anybody else. Better burgers, better deals. And so it's also about how we can work collaboratively over this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone just needs to know. June 21st, yes, that's when the government wants everything to reopen. It's not guaranteed everything's going to reopen. If we have another spike, it's probably be July or something.
Yeah.
With you, Richard, I think there's a good chance this government will try and get as much open as possible because they're not big fans of ordinary people, but they are big fans of business. So they're going to be trying their best. So what we can do is just keep ourselves safe regardless of what the government says. So it doesn't matter what Boris and his team are saying. If we're in shops, let's wear the face masks regardless.
Yeah.
If we're outside, let's just keep a little bit of distance between us regardless.
Yeah.
And then we will be able to see people again. It doesn't have to be this hard. But I think what I'd like to hope that people, if you are 16, coming at 17, get yourself registered to vote. And then remember how this pandemic felt. And remember that 130,000 people died.
Yeah.
And we can change it. Yeah, a better world is possible. It doesn't have to be like this. And I can say that because I look around the group and I believe that I may be the oldest. Only by moments, Richard. Yeah? Those moments count. So what we want to do is we want to get people in charge who actually care about us.
Yeah.
And who want to fund youth work. And actually give it the
fund youth work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get them out.
Georgia looks like she's trying to escape from the computer screen there.
I think we've all been trying to do that, but nothing we do ever works.
And I guess, like within that, it's like the nurses only getting 1% pay rise.
Yeah, 1%.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That's the equivalent of £6 a week. That doesn't even pay a parking for the day they did at work.
Wow, very true.
But everything we've been clapping for the nurses, and shocking didn't generate any money. Who would have thought that? I was out there clapping, thinking that I was creating a magic money tree for the nurses, but in fact, all I did was give Dominic Cummings an extra £40,000 a year. And he only went for an eye test. But these people have been saving people's lives for the whole pandemic. We've given them £6. It's outrageous. We should all be really mad. And then maybe party in our houses. I don't know. Listen to music.
Only in your household bubbles.
Only in your household bubbles. Or when you're going to walk the dog, stick your iPhones on and stuff and listen to Connor with his music. He's always got some good stuff to listen to. But you have to walk really fast when I think you listen to Connor's music. Hanging about
to the beat of the music.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, moving on a bit, we were going to sort of do some icebreaker questions because as much as we're out in the community, maybe you don't know a lot about us. So we thought some icebreaker questions would sort of help with that and hopefully help with a bit of nervousness if you know, when talking to people. So I'm going to start off with a question and then people can sort of jump in. So what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I think mine is probably just to believe in yourself even if you don't think you can do something, because I think a lot of the time, especially in school, I wasn't stopped by my ability to do something. It was more my self-doubt that stopped me. So I think, I know it's hard to think past your own confidence, but I think you've just got to believe in yourself no matter how hard it can be. That's my one, I think.
That's a good one.
I think the best advice I've ever been given is after you boil potatoes for your roast dinner, to put flour on them and to cook them in lots of oil with like salt and like onions and stuff. So I think that's the best advice I've ever been given in my life.
Is that like fry them again then? Like you cook them and then you fry them?
No, like when you put them in the actual oven, you have like lots of oil in the pan.
Yeah.
And then you have like flour on top and it makes it more crispy.
Oh, right.
So that's how you get the crispiest, nicest potatoes. You have to use a bit of flour. So everyone write that on your shopping list. If you're going to make a roast dinner on Sunday, that's what you need to do.
Oh.
I must try that. I must try that.
Yeah.
Take pics, let me know how it went.
I will.
I think mine will be just never give up. Because it's like anything is possible. You can do something. You just need to keep going.
That's good advice.
That's true. I think for me, thinking about it now, the best advice I've ever been given, I didn't follow it initially, which I regretted, and I had to follow it by force, was when I was in secondary school. My mom kept saying to me, learn how to cook, because of when you get to uni, nobody's going to cook for you. And I didn't take to the advice until I got to uni. And the first 3 months, I nearly starved to death. Then I had to learn to cook by force. And so thinking about it, I think that's the best advice I've ever been given.
What
Are you a good cook now?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Are you a good cook now?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying my best. Yeah.
What's the first meal you ever cooked though?
My first meal is curry, to be honest.
Ooh.
That's a good meal to cook.
My first meal was a roast dinner. I think you can't really go wrong with a good roast. I think it's a really simple thing to do. But
we were saying the other week how hard we think it is because of all the different timings and everything.
Oh man, I'm going to do a roast. On a Tuesday, we do a just living, like a cooking session. So maybe one week I'm going to do roast dinner for you all. And we'll show you.
That'd be crap.
I think you're going to get a lot of participants in that, Bianca.
Yeah.
Maybe we can all eat together. That'd be awesome. But my advice is twofold. One of them was fall down 7 times, get up 8, which is a Japanese proverb. And I think that's really important. Yeah, but you fall down 7, you get up 8. It's great to fail. Yeah, because it means you've done something with your life. The other thing that I think, if I had a really nice piece of advice, when I was a younger person and I never really fitted in, and I always felt like a bit like I didn't belong, and my mum said to me, "You belong to me."
Oh.
Find someone.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody belongs to somebody.
Yeah.
And so just because you may not belong to the people in your school, in your class, in your group, there will be people who feel like you're their people.
Yeah.
You've got to keep being you until you find those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as an adult, I'm no different than I was when I was 13, just not even taller. I mean, I'm still as short as I was back then, but I've just come to terms with who I am. Yeah, so my other thing, if I was to give some other advice on a Friday, which is like the bad parts about you as well as the good, because we're all human, we all have them. We've all got those iggly habits. Don't try and get rid of them. Just get your head around them and then manage them. Yeah, because when you get rid of them, you get more, because that's what humans have. No human's perfect. We've all got these little quirky bits about ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You. Yeah. I mean, there's like a Dr. Seuss song about that, isn't there? There's no one truer than you, and be you, and anything reminding of you. Lots of rhyming words in Dr. Seuss's words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say something about what Bianca said. When I was younger, I mean, when I was in secondary school, I got to realize that because I went secondary school in Africa, and I got to realize most of the girls in my year and most of the girls who were my age mates, each time they talked about their kind of dream man, they're always like, "Oh, it must be tall, 6-pack, and all that." And here I am, I'm so short. I think I was like 5'2" or 5'3". So I was worried. I always thought to myself, will I ever get married?
Oh.
Well, eventually, yeah. Today I'm happily married.
Now you're thinking, how am I going to escape my wife?
Yeah. So I think.
Don't say anything that'll get you in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
stop while you're ahead.
I'm being watched.
Oh no!
So I'd rather behave. Oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, it's true, Bianca. You always belong to somebody, regardless of whatever. You always belong to somebody. There's always somebody out there who loves you the way you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if it's a gang member and they're exploiting you, that's not love, mate. Yeah, come to a youth worker, we'll help you out. If your love is getting you 3 pairs of trainers or you're doing shady stuff, love doesn't hurt.
No.
Yeah, true.
Feelings doesn't put you at risk. Love is something that is peaceful and kind. And if at any point anyone who's watching this is worried, then reach out to either Free to Talk, Community Courtyard, or any adult that you trust, because there is always a solution for a better world.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
Very well said. My advice, the best advice I was ever given, was don't fall over. But that's advice I have never listened to.
Do you fall over a lot then?
I'm very clumsy. I'm very clumsy. It leads on to a little story, actually. When I was about 2 years old, my mum realised I was extremely clumsy. And it was 4 years old, sorry. My mum realised I was extremely clumsy, and she took me to a specialist. And the specialist went, "So how clumsy are they?" And there was a sink at head height, and I ran straight into it for no apparent reason. And since then they've just been like, yeah, they're just like super clumsy. Like there's no reason, they're just clumsy. So I used the excuse that I was diagnosed with clumsiness.
Did you hurt yourself when you ran to the sink?
I can't remember. Probably.
Concussion.
Yeah,
There you go. You can't remember it. I'm going to back up on that because when I was 1.5, running downstairs, slipped, bashed my nose on the edge of the radiator.
Oh,
Ouch.
Went to hospital, and next thing you know, I lost the bridge on my nose. So if you met me like maybe 10 years ago, my glasses would be down here. I would not wear my glasses up. They would always keep falling down.
Oh,
We
wow.
finally found a pair that actually stays on my eyes, or they drop down a bit, but I can still look out of them.
Yeah.
Didn't know
So
that.
for like 9 years, I was going around with glasses on, but they were just like, I wasn't looking out of them. So I was like, why do I wear glasses? And now I know, because I'm short-sighted now.
I need to wear glasses as well, but I don't a lot of the time.
I have glasses. They're very funky coloured glasses.
Are they? What colours are they?
They're orange. Wow. They're like an orange rose colour.
Ooh, that
Don't
sounds
know
very
whether I
nice.
have them. Can't find them.
No, mine
I don't think anyone can beat my cool Harry Potter style glasses, to be honest.
I do really like yours, I have to say.
They are very cool. And they were only 20 quid. So,
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, you know how like extortionate some glasses are?
Oh, wow.
Crazy, aren't
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when I was looking at them, I was like, because I wasn't like, I haven't always worn glasses. It sort of started a few years ago. And when I looked at how much they were, I was like, no, surely not.
they? They're crazy, aren't they? It could be like hundreds
Yeah.
of pounds.
Yeah. It's because you can't see proper.
I know.
Charlotte, did you have another icebreaker question?
Yes. One I chose was, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Right now, Australia, because they have no coronavirus, they have no cases.
That's a good answer.
Mm.
So there.
Anybody else?
I think mine is going to be anywhere where there's no winter.
Yeah, I would
Texas.
agree. I want to go somewhere nice and hot.
Anywhere nice and warm all through the year.
Definitely. That's a priority at the moment, I think.
I think if I could live anywhere, there'd be two places in the world I'd live. I would either live in Vietnam, because when I visited Vietnam, the food is nice, the people is nice, but I really like their sense of community and how they use spaces. So, and they're just natural collaborators. They're naturally wanting to help each other. Do you mean? So you can go down a road and everyone's selling the same thing, but if they think that you can get a better deal from a different shop, they'll tell you to go to the other shop.
Really?
Yeah, and for a
Oh,
country
wow.
of poverty, the level of kind of community and country pride is phenomenal. And so I was really inspired when I went to Vietnam. The other place where I wouldn't mind living is Seville in Spain, partly for Io's reason, which is there's very little winter, and it's very, very warm. But again, it's about that sense of community and how people work together. So in Spain, life is slower. Do you mean they have a siesta because you physically can't do stuff at lunchtime because it's too hot?
Yes.
And that's great because I'm really good at sleeping at lunchtime.
I'm going to have a nap.
I think I'd be perfect there. But again, it's just about a different way of life. And I feel like at the moment in the UK, everything is so busy. Do you mean all
It's so
rushing?
fast-paced, isn't it? Everyone's sort of focusing on themselves rather than everyone else as well.
Yeah, and it kind of stopped at the beginning of lockdown when we all kind of went, oh, what's happening? And then technology caught up and then we were all busy again.
Yeah.
And so it felt like we've had this moment of calmness, and I think that's why we all coped with the first part of lockdown really easily, and why we're all struggling a bit more now is because lockdown has become like our normal lives, and that pace has increased. You go from one Zoom meeting to another, to another, to another.
Yeah.
We don't get that chance to just go for that walk with the dog, which we used to at the beginning. Do you mean? We don't get time out.
Yeah.
And nature kind of revived, didn't it? So we all felt, oh, this is great. We can hear the birds. The skies are clear. And so I want to hopefully at some point be part of a community where things are a bit slower because I think we need time to smell the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's so
don't
fast paced all the time, isn't it, at the moment?
And also, you've got to watch where you're walking, haven't you? Because there's so much dog poo on the floor. So you need that time out to be able to check out where you're walking. If you're a dog owner and you're letting your dog poop on the floor, stop it. How very dare you? Take your bags out, pick up your poop.
Couldn't have said it any better.
No,
Poop
exactly.
I don't know where I'd live, to be honest.
I can't think of anywhere specific, just somewhere like Ao said, nice and warm.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't do
I-
well in the cold.
No, neither.
I don't.
Not cut out for it. Georgia,
Well-
have you got any ideas?
I think I'd probably like to live in Italy. I haven't been there before, but obviously I've seen lots of like pictures and read quite a lot. And I love the art and the architecture and just kind of being able to just walk along, you know, the canals and stuff like that. I think it would be really nice. So yeah. That's probably where I want to live.
Yeah, I'd love to go there. That's on my bucket list of where I want to go after.
I've been to Italy. I was really lucky, but me and my better half, we hired a little camper van, like a caddy van, not even a camper van. I don't know how we both got in it, to be honest. And then we then drove around Europe, and then we just stopped, and it was the best 3 weeks of our lives. Really did it for 3 weeks, but it was fantastic.
That's
got
incredible.
For parking in wrong places, but we didn't get arrested, so we found it successful. And it's
You'll have to
interesting.
tell us more about that at some point, Bianca. I'd like to hear your tales.
Yeah.
I think the interesting part about that is that we all want to go travelling, and yet the travelling community in England has such a bad press. I mean, so travellers in the UK get called pikeys. We all see really negative reports about them, and yet people want to go travelling.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me with that. I mean, it's really important that we call out that kind of last acceptable racism. Do you mean? Because people use some of the negative words around travellers and the Gypsy Romany community, which they wouldn't use within other communities. Yet they will want to be what they are.
Yeah.
So, how strange.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy.
It's weird when you put it like that, isn't it? Because you don't really think, because we all want to go travelling,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
But people criticise them for doing that.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
On holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably not picking up all their rubbish. Maybe not taking all of it on the floor, but if you're telling me that every one of us always picks up all our rubbish all during our lifetimes, I think we're probably a group of fibbers. I mean, that's life, isn't it? We're allowed to make mistakes, but some groups of people are not. And we need to challenge that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So if you're a Romany traveller person, know that all the team at Community Courtyard and Free to Talk, we think you're ace. Wherever you live.
Everybody's amazing in their own way, aren't they?
Well, also, we've got one of our new volunteers who'll be starting in the summer. I think you met them, Parker, is a person called Lois. And they are bright and bold and wear all the traditional traveller clothes. And they're going to be coming to the university to do their degree. And they're going to be spending some time in Community Courtyard. So if you want to learn more about that particular group of people, you've got a question about travellers that you daren't ask, then you can come down the yard and have a natter with our Lois. She's always good. The kettle will always be on. She'll have a good natter with you.
I love Lois.
Great.
It's amazing.
Great.
So another question. We've all probably done a bit more of online shopping than what we normally would have. But what has been your favourite item you've bought online this year?
This year or 2020?
Or since the lockdown?
During the pandemic.
During
Yeah.
the year lockdown.
I'd rather say this year I haven't bought anything.
You haven't bought anything?
No.
I need to take a leaf out of your book.
Same.
I've only bought books this year.
Oh. What kind of book?
For university.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the
read
fun
any of them
kind
yet?
of books.
Yeah.
No.
Have you read any yet?
Sorry?
Have you read any of them yet?
No.
Me neither. I haven't read any of them.
No.
You need to start reading. Maybe a change assignment to come in. So you can start reading your man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think mine would just be just clothes generally. I mean, I can't think of any specific ones, but I love spending money on clothes, so probably just that.
Yeah, I believe this question would have been good for my wife. She gets a delivery from Amazon like 4 times a week.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, she gets deliveries from like 4 times a week.
Wow.
I won't shop from Amazon. So I think it's really important that during the pandemic that we think really carefully about where we shop, because whilst local independent shops are really struggling, Amazon has made such a big profit, and yet its workers are not on minimum wage; they're on basic wage, and their standards of work is absolutely horrific.
Are you serious?
Yeah. If you haven't
Wow.
seen the film, I'm sorry, it's a Ken Loach film, and I'm Daniel Blake. That's probably the film you want to watch. Daniel Blake. It's a really good example of what happens to those workers who you're seeing dropping off your parcels. Yeah.
You don't think about it, do you? When you're buying things online, you don't really think about the process behind it. But if you can find out information to look it up, because especially like you said with individual businesses and things, they've had such a massive impact from COVID.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And also, we're in a climate crisis. Yeah, so we've got to think very carefully about where we shop, where we eat, where we do things. Do you mean we can't change the big corporations, but we can change them if enough of us take action. But in terms of good stuff, I bought my mum a lemon tree. That was pretty cool. And she's happy. It actually had a lemon on it. So from so she was well happy about that. And for those Harry Potter fans out there, I got a Harry Potter afternoon tea from a local shop down Valley Road, and that was food. So anything to do with food, I'm really happy to have delivered to my door. Yeah, not that my Sunday dinners aren't brilliant, but every now and then it's nice not to cook.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I can show mine if you want.
Yeah, show us.
Go on then.
Hold up. Let me try and grab them.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You've got loads.
Wow. How many have you got?
One moment.
Can you complete all of them, Richard?
Easy.
Yep.
Can you?
One of them looked like it was like a different kind of pattern. It wasn't like
25. 25, I think.
Wow.
25?
25.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, I haven't even got one.
Can you like mess all of them up and then like do all of them in like 10 minutes or something?
Not some of these. Some of these will take around 20.
That's still so much quicker than I could ever do. Can anyone do one apart from Richard?
Around 25 of them.
No.
Show me the one that has like the different kind of pattern on it.
This one.
Yeah, that's really. So how does that turn, or am I being silly?
Oh.
Does that make it harder or easier?
Yeah, both really.
Wow.
So does it like move like that way as well, and then also the corners?
Nah, it's just the corners, so it just does 3 times.
How long did it take to learn to do that?
3x3, around 6 years. I've been doing these for a while now. I'll say around a month.
Oh my goodness.
Probably 2 weeks for 5x5, and this I'm still learning, but I'll say around 3 weeks now.
Wow.
We could do like a Rubik's Championship in Northampton, couldn't we? Just try and set that up.
I'm down.
See who'll be the reigning champion.
And everyone.
That's amazing.
I wish I could do them.
I don't know what I've bought this year. I'm trying to think. I bought too much stuff to even remember what I have bought. Um,
Mine's mostly food and clothes, I think.
well, I thought I'd treat myself, and it wasn't very expensive, and it supports Stonewall charity, and they were in partnership with Royal Mail, and they actually got a couple of LGBT celebrities to write letters. So you sign up, you pay the fee, and then every week of February, because February was LGBT History Month, they sent you a letter, and it has like a little gift or something in there, or like a nice quote or something.
Oh, that's such a
So
good
they
idea.
were like proper letters from celebrities.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was really nice, just to sort of, I always was looking out for the postman or postwoman, and it, you know, just like, you got me nice things today.
Oh, that's such
So,
a lovely
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, quite nice.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Georgia,
Right.
have you said
Oh,
yours,
yeah.
Georgia? Sorry.
So recently I bought a so it's like a kit, and it's like a date night kit, and inside you get like a pack of marshmallows, a pack of like biscuits. You get one of those little fire things, you know, those little round
The little mini one. Yeah.
Yeah, the little mini ones that you can have inside, so you can like roast marshmallows in like your living room or whatever. And it also has like a dream catcher crafting kit, like inside it, and a little like glow in the dark stars. So like you put the stars up, like roast marshmallows, and like create little dream catchers, and it's so cute.
That sounds so cute. I'd love to.
It does.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Oh.
Right then. We should probably finish up. So we were going to finish up with a question of what's the best thing that's happened to you this week? I think the best thing that's happened to me this week is doing more of these free to talk TV sessions and like running them, because it is such an insight into actually what goes into the managing and the leading and the planning of it. And I really liked working with Charlotte, who's been working with me throughout the whole week. It's been really nice talking to all our guests, Bianca, Georgia, Richard. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it actually.
I'd have to agree. I think it's sort of shown me a new side of it, sort of planning the sessions, planning what we're going to say, and working with you as well, Parker, and all the different guests and everything. It's been really interesting because, you know, we normally do online game sessions, but this has been a nice little change to kind of switch it up and sort of find out about people who work in the community, young people, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Probably the same here. I've been without Wi-Fi for two days now, so I really haven't done much.
But you've joined most of the sessions, haven't you, Richard? 3 of
Besides
them.
Mondays, yeah. Most of them.
Yeah.
It's been really nice having you on, Richard.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
Yeah, I think for me. Oh, sorry. Go on, Richard. Sorry.
Like I said, I've got nothing to do after college, so I'm free anytime.
Oh, we'll have to.
We'll have to keep that in mind.
You've now just signed yourself up to that. You do realise. You've got no choice.
I told James like the first time I did it, sign me up whenever. Just tell me when you need someone.
We'll definitely keep you updated on when the next ones are, so you can come on.
Yeah. Okay. I think for me, on Monday, my daughter got an email saying she got into our first choice for secondary school.
Oh, great!
Yeah, and the whole family is just excited about it.
Oh, so cute! Congratulations!
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
For me, so a couple of things. So, of course, all of my work at Community Courtyard is obviously the highlight of my week every week, of course. Bianca,
Are you saying that because it is, or saying that because Bianca's here?
No, not at all.
You're being paid to say it.
No, shut up.
No, it is. I've done some work with Community Courtyard, and it is always a pleasure to do work with them. So
Yeah, so that's definitely my first, and then my second sort of highlight is obviously doing this with all of you guys, because I think it's been really nice to meet you and chat to you and just kind of, as you say, learn about different people in the community who are working with young people. So that's been really informative for me.
I guess some of my favourite things this week is some of our students have just finished their 12-week placement almost, and they survived with us, which I always think is fantastic news. I've always enjoyed walking my beagles. They're really good fun just to get outside, and it means they're eating some mess off the floor rather than food out of my house. So that's always delightful. And then some of the things that I really enjoy doing, and I just want to encourage people to do, is anything that's a little bit crafty, a bit like what Richard's doing with Rubik's Cube. So I'm at the moment doing some sewing, so making some things, anything that gets you away from that monotonous. It's great to have the internet, but take that time, read a book, escape from the whole world, go for a wander, get your fresh air, because there's so many great things about Northampton, not just a youth focus. I mean, we're all pretty fab. That goes without saying. But there's some bloody marvellous things out there as well.
Yeah.
True.
Wow. It's been lovely having you all on, and it's been lovely doing this. So thank you for everybody who has watched this session as well as throughout the week.
Yes.
And have a good weekend.
Yes.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a good
All
weekend,
right.
everyone.